Have you ever thought about powering our world with, well, with nothing? I mean, literally, with empty space. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But it turns out that according to quantum physics, the vacuum of space is anything but empty. So let's dive into one of the most mind-bending and maybe one of the most important ideas in all of science. Okay, so check this out. According to quantum field theory, if you could somehow add up all the energy from the quantum fluctuations happening in just one single cubic meter of empty space, you'd get this number. That's 10 to the power of 113 joules. I mean, that number it's just astronomical. It's more energy than we think is contained in all the matter in the entire observable universe. And yeah, that brings us to the big, obvious question, doesn't it? If this unbelievable reservoir of energy is literally everywhere all the time, why aren't we using it? Why aren't our cars and our homes running on empty space? This huge gap between the theory and what we actually see is a genuine mystery in physics. It's called the cosmological constant problem, and it's one of the biggest puzzles physicists are trying to solve today. So, to even begin to tackle this, we have to completely update our definition of nothing, because the old school idea of a perfect, totally empty void, it just doesn't work in the quantum world. This really lays out the massive shift in thinking. On one hand, you've got the classical idea that we all kind of grew up with. Space is just an empty, passive stage where things happen. It has zero energy. But quantum mechanics just throws that right out the window. It replaces that void with what physicists call a plenum, a seething, dynamic soup of energy fields and virtual particles that are constantly blinking in and out of existence. It's a space that is absolutely brimming with energy. And this energy, this sort of background hum of the universe, it has a name, zero-point energy. And it's not just some mathematical oddity. It is a direct result of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. That principle basically says you can never have a quantum field be perfectly still with zero energy. So this energy exists everywhere, even at absolute zero. It's the fundamental ground state of reality itself. All right, so this energy is all around us, but is it real? I mean, can we poke it and see if it does something? Is it just a theoretical ghost? Or can we actually see its effects in the real world? The answer is a huge yes, and the proof is just fascinating. This gets right to it. The absolute smoking gun for zero-point energy, the undeniable proof that it's real, is a phenomenon called the Casimir effect. This is where the vacuum of space itself can physically push things around. So how on earth does that work? Well, picture two perfectly flat reflective plates, and you bring them incredibly close together inside a vacuum. Now, all around them, these vacuum energy fluctuations are happening at all possible wavelengths, but in the tiny gap between the plates, only the very short wavelengths can fit. So what happens? You get an imbalance. There's more energy, more pressure on the outside of the plates pushing in than there is on the inside pushing out. And the result is the plates are literally forced together by nothing. This isn't a theory. It's been measured in labs again and again. It's real. And if you think that's weird, there is an even wilder version called the dynamical Casimir effect. If you take a mirror and wiggle it back and forth at nearly the speed of light, you can actually shake virtual photons out of the vacuum and turn them into real detectable photons, real light. But, and this is so important, you're not getting a free lunch here. The energy to create that light comes from the work you put in to wiggle the mirror. It's a conversion, not free energy generation. Okay, so this isn't just some weird party trick for physicists. This is actually the foundation for a whole new, legitimate field of engineering. While we can't seem to burn the vacuum for fuel, we absolutely can engineer it to change how matter behaves in some incredible ways. Welcome to the world of vacuumonics. And I'm not talking about some far-off future stuff. This is happening in labs right now. Scientists are using that Casimir force to actuate tiny microscopic machines. They're using the dynamical Casimir effect to create microwave photons on demand. And maybe the wildest of all is something called vacuum dressing. They can literally hybridize materials with the vacuum's energy modes to change their fundamental properties, like how well they conduct electricity or how fast a chemical reaction occurs. Think about that for a second. We are changing matter by engineering the emptiness around it. It's incredible. The applications for this are just astounding. We're talking about electronics, where you control the flow of electricity just by changing the physical shape of a device, no electric field needed. Or a new kind of Casimir chemistry, where you speed up or slow down a reaction just by trapping molecules between two mirrors. This is the real, verified, cutting-edge science of engineering the vacuum. Okay, so that's the established science. But now we have to wade into the controversy. What about the people who claim they're not just manipulating the vacuum, but actually extracting net energy from it? So there are some researchers out there, probably most famously Garrett Model's lab at the University of Colorado, who claim they've done it. Using these special devices called Casimir cavities, they've reported generating a continuous power output of around 70 watts per square meter. Now, to put that in perspective, that's roughly in the same ballpark as a modern solar panel, except this would supposedly work 24/7, even in total darkness. This entire debate really boils down to two fundamentally different ways of seeing the vacuum. The proponents, who often use a theory called stochastic electrodynamics, or SED, they see the vacuum as this active, roaring river of energy. And if you're clever enough, you can just dip a water wheel in and get power. But the mainstream view, called quantum electrodynamics, or QED, sees the vacuum as the absolute lowest possible energy state. It's the floor, and you can't get energy by dropping something that's already on the floor. So why isn't this front page news? Well, the broader scientific community has some major hurdles with this idea. First, pulling energy from the ground state would seem to violate a core principle. That's like the quantum version of the second law of thermodynamics. Second, another principle called detailed balance suggests that a device's own heat and electronic noise would just cancel out any tiny bit of energy it tried to rectify from the vacuum. Third, and this is a big one in science, no other independent lab has been able to replicate these results. And finally, the signals being measured are so tiny they could very easily be experimental errors, things like stray radio waves or tiny temperature changes. So we've looked at the verified science, we've looked at the really controversial claims. Where does that leave us? When it comes to the vacuum, are we talking about a medium we can work with or a fuel we can burn? The bottom line from mainstream physics is pretty clear. You can't get a free lunch from the vacuum. There are these really robust mathematical rules called quantum energy inequalities, and you can think of them as cosmic guardrails. They basically say that while you might be able to borrow a little bit of energy from the vacuum for an incredibly short amount of time, you always have to pay it back, usually with interest. You just can't get sustained net energy out of the absolute ground state of the universe. But like with all things in quantum mechanics, there's a fascinating twist. There's a theoretical protocol called quantum energy teleportation, and it shows that you can actually pull energy out of the vacuum at one location, but only if you first put energy in and use information from another entangled location. The energy is effectively teleported through the vacuum. It isn't created by it. It's this profound idea that the vacuum's energy isn't free for the taking because it's somehow locked by the laws of information. And so we land here, at the core takeaway from all of this. The quantum vacuum isn't some limitless fuel tank we can just tap into. Instead, it's the ultimate medium. It's the active, elastic fabric of reality itself. We can't burn it, but we are learning how to weave it and stretch it and engineer it to create technologies that we are only just beginning to imagine. It's really a huge shift in how we think, moving from trying to mine the void to learning how to engineer it. And it just makes you wonder, if empty space is this complex and this powerful, what other incredible secrets is the very fabric of our universe still hiding from us?